July 1 of 2013 was our 30-year anniversary as an organization. So we thought we'd have a little fun with an 80s throwback. A few of us did put on 80s attire, and while it may not look like I have, and I did come very close to going to the closet for that Cosby sweater and the mustard turtleneck and the cowboy boots. I could not bring myself to do that, but I did pull out a little bit of 80s technology to remind us how far we've come. Who remembers these? The pager. Yep. So today, I hope we can put into perspective for you not only the changes that we've undertaken as an organization and how we've grown and what we've tried to bring to the industry, but have a little bit of fun with the whole fact that we're 30 years old. For the 30 years that we've existed as an organization, I've had the great pleasure, and I tell you truly, more fun than any one guy should have, of being at the helm of this organization. And I'm going to ask that my chiefs stand up. 3 of them are here today. The 4th one is back at the office counting beans, as she does with tremendous skill and talent, which is what keeps us straight with State Board of Accounts. But as you meet them today, I want you to hear it from me that I have the distinct pleasure of working with the best in our industry. I will put this group up against any other CVB in this nation, dollar for dollar, pound for pound. We bring a passion for the industry and a passion for your business that is unmatched in this region, in this state, and I will tell you by many in this country. With that, Nikki Makowski, our Vice President and Chief Communications Officer. Working for Nikki, there's the same kind of dedication in her directors and managers. She hires the best, and we bring that to you every day. Heather Becerra, our Chief Marketing Officer. Have a stand. You're going to hear from a couple of her directors today.
I'm Nikki.
That's Heather. You're going to hear from some of her directors, and you're not going to hear from some of her directors and managers who are back at the office. But again, the best that we can find that work for you and bring a passion and commitment that is unmatched. Finally, in his Don Johnson attire, I don't know where I lost him. Boy, you're almost like the bride coming down the stairs here. Luke Weinman, our Chief Technology Officer. Again, this young man recognized nationally for what he's accomplished, and we have truly cut some new ground, and I'm not going to take any of the thunder that they have away. But these are the reasons why I get up and come to work every day, is to work with this group. These are the reasons why we weather the kind of political and critical storms that is worth it, because we bring the passion to you that you bring to your business. And all of us know in this industry, unless you're committed every day, whether or not you want to get up, whether or not you're a single mom or a single grandparent, or you're going through some kind of strife at home, or the pipes have burst in your hotel, or a shipment is late at your restaurant, the customer never sees that. And that's our job to deliver, and we try to deliver that to you. A seamless, positive, passionate experience about what our industry means and how we change the community. That's what we have strived to do every day that I've been here for the 20-some years that I have. So with that, congratulations in advance to all of you. I know it's going to be great, and let's move on. My, how 30 years does help something, doesn't it? That is not necessarily a picture from 1983, full disclosure. For maximum laugh, that is my high school senior picture, which is from 1981. But I knew that you would get a kick out of that, so yeah. Yeah, the tie. The hair was the better part. But there you go today. Again, 30 years later, and you're going to be seeing a lot of those kinds of pictures. So I'm here to walk through our 30 years very quickly, talk about some of the important things that we've done in leading this great industry. We started as a staff of 2, budget of $208,000, located at 5800 Broadway, and rented offices. I think we had a total square footage, if I have to go back, LaTanya, I think you were there in the old days, we might have had 500 square foot of offices before we moved into the bigger suite. But a lot has changed in that 30 years, and this was a snapshot of the picture of the staff right around 1990, I'm going to say 91, 92. We had grown a little bit, we'd secured some additional staff. There's Kathy Rissick in the red sweater. Many of you will recall her. She ended up leaving our organization in the year 2000 as she remarried and moved to the West Coast. Miss Simmons, how many of you can forget Miss Simmons and that voice that no matter how mad you were, when you called, Miss Simmons knew your name. She knew how to take care of you, and she delivered that exceptional customer service experience. In the blue, with the late 80s or early 90s hair that I love, Katie Holderby. So there's a lot of things that have changed, lots that stayed the same. There is a picture of one of our very first special events, which what got us into the belief that things like Air Show, Festival of Lakes, Pierogi Fest, the County Fair are important, why we're working with Hobart on the boat races, why we continue to reach out, because we knew very early in this organization's lifespan that special events are going to be the heart blood for bringing people to this community. We have to give them something to do in the absence of a convention center, in the absence of those mega attractions that we continually fight for, and I fight for every day. We knew we needed to do something to bring people here. So there's a picture of the Macker, circa 1990, from the top of the Twin Towers looking over the parking lot at the Radisson. 95, just a picture of, again, what the leadership team was like then. This is probably one of the proudest things, and they asked me about what is it that, if you start talking about legacy and what have you done in the organization. And we've done some amazing things. We've done amazing things for you. We've moved the needle, we've put heads in beds, we've put cheeks in seats. We have put torsos through turnstiles. But Kathy, as I introduced in the previous slide, that is the first of what has become 14 babies that have touched our lives in our organization during the past 20 years. I provide for my staff an in-office child care program. It's generally about the first 4 or 5 months. Heather Becerra has a little daughter named Peyton who is 4 months old now a year later. We just simply can't seem to not have her in the office, and I'm the one who wants to see her every day. And Heather gets the ire of, where's the baby? She goes, you don't want to see me? I said, no, I don't want to see you, I want to see Peyton. But this is baby Carolyn, who at our 30th year anniversary, you will see this family that we are so proud of. This is another one of our great accomplishments that I want to make sure that you all think about. How are you using, how are we helping you to sell your business? How are we helping to put people at your stadium? And talking with the guys from the White Sox, we're hopeful that 2014 we're going to have more people from Northwest Indiana in the stands, because it's going to be a better year for the Sox, right guys?
Right. Can't be worse.
Okay. There again, a picture of the family as we open the building. We have, as you well know, and we're very proud of, racked up a great deal of, as we call it in the office, hardware. We've got a lot of hardware for what we've done in the industry. And it's funny because as you run into people and they mention my name, it's kind of like talking about Notre Dame or the White Sox or the Cubs. You either love them or hate them. But the one thing there's no dispute about is the fact that this organization gets it done. And we win awards from every corner of this industry, and we're recognized for our work internationally. I'm very proud of that, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to be judged about. And that's what we try to bring again for all of you. Here's a more recent collection of some of the little ones, and just wanted to give you, again, a taste of what it's like. Oh, where in the world did that come from? Really? All right, somebody's going to get in trouble. Yes, I do play the accordion still. My mother did that to me. She placed it in my hand at 5 years old. If you ever want a private concert, stop by. We'll make something happen. And then, of course, our work, my work specifically, which has undergone some criticism from a couple of people in the last 60 days, but we remain undaunted. Our relationships are solid. We work with the elected officials at every level. We enjoy a tremendous relationship with the Congressman's office. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't care about your politics, but we are blessed to have one of the greatest legislative leaders in our community that we could ever hope for. And Pete understands tourism. Our mayors that I see, how many offices here represented today, they understand it. And we have, through continued effort, education, and passion, convinced elected officials at every level that this is an industry worth investing in. And there they are. This group that is passionate about you. And as I look in this room, I mean, we have friendships here. We have people who we break bread with. We have people that were there when there's the birth of a child. We're there when there's the death of a loved one. We've been in the room. We know you. We work together. We play together. And this staff has friends in this room that do a lot of stuff together. This is more than work for us. And I would ask all of you to think about that. Our relationships with you are more than work. And some of you we've known for, again, Charisse, let's not disclose how many years that's been. Others, we want to make more of a relationship. But the reason that we're the best and what separates us from anybody else you work with is because of our commitment to you and your business and to you as an individual. And you see that through our commitment to family, which is right here, and it starts within our four walls. And we consider you our extended family, but here is our family, and here is that little baby 16 years later. She sings on Broadway in New York. She has a voice from heaven, and that's how we think about everything that we do, is how we impact our family. And we're glad that our family's here with us, breaking bread this morning. We had a little fun this year with a Christmas story. If you were living under a rock, that's probably the only way you didn't hear about this. For many of you, if you don't know, for the past 7 years, we bought 6 animatronic windows from Macy's Herald Square in New York. We entered into a long-term contract with Warner Brothers, and we have been providing our families, friends, and visitors from all over the world great entertainment for about a 40-day period called A Christmas Story Comes Home. How many of you have seen it? Let's do it the other way. How many of you haven't seen it? Oh, for shame, for shame. Please, come next year. We commissioned a new window this year, window number 7. It highlighted a scene that we did on Facebook, asking all of our followers what scene from the movie haven't we depict yet? And they came up with the fantasy sequence where Ralphie and his fringed country and western outfit is protecting the family with his BB gun with his beloved Red Ryder. We put window 6, which was Christmas morning, down in Indianapolis at Riley's Children's Hospital for those families in the cancer hospital to brighten their holidays. And we unveiled, if you can see it, barely, I can barely see it, and I think Luke is hanging all over him, but there is Flick, small bronze statue with his tongue permanently affixed to our flagpole at the visitor center. That little $40,000 PR stunt, and credit where credit's due, the great one, Bill Wellman, came to me and said, we need to do something like they did in Valpo with Orville Redenbacher on the park bench. You can't believe how many people come down and sit down next to Orville and take their picture. Well, that $40,000 bronze statue has resulted in us getting $3.7 million in global earned media this year. Think about that number. 3.7 million in global media. We were on the landing page of Yahoo, landing page of AOL, you name it, we were there. British media, Canadian National Public Radio. Nikki, I'm stealing a little bit from yours, but I'm proud of this because, again, that started with, that story every time all over the world started with the 2 words, Hammond, Indiana. And it tells the story of what we're doing to tell our story to get people into your businesses and help build this region. Finally, let me say to you that regardless of the criticism, regardless of the stones that get thrown, we are a region. And I appreciate Shady Creek being here from Michigan City. I've heard a number of the hotels from Valpo and Portage. The White Sox, you guys cannot believe how valuable and important it is to me personally that you guys are members. All of you in this room. The customer doesn't know where the county lines are, and the customer doesn't care. If they walk into my building and they want to know how to get to a winery or an outlet mall or a professional baseball stadium or a dairy farm or a casino or whatever it is, we're going to tell them. Because we don't sit here and say, well, I'm sorry, we don't have professional sports in Lake County, so we can't help you. Or we don't have a winery in Lake County, sorry. That's not serving the customer. And all of you know, it's hard enough every day when we go to work to get the occupancy, to get the number count through the door that we want. And if that's what the customer wants, if the customer wants a seamless geographic experience somewhere between Chicago and New Buffalo, that's what we're going to deliver. And I am not going to stop until this region is one, until we represent the industry in a way that we should, And you allow us to do that. And your passion and your voice is what I need sometimes to make sure that others understand this isn't about turf, this isn't about politics, this is about the customer. And there's no other industry that you know of that tries to sell itself by county. Could you imagine, as hoteliers, if you worried only about what was going on in your county? Or Shady Creek Winery. Well, I'm sorry, you're not from LaPorte County, we're not going to sell you our wine. I'm sorry, Jack's Warehouse. We're IDing kids when they come in. Whoa, 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 sorry, you're from Newton County, you can't come in and play. What a ridiculous premise. So, please, join me. Join this family, as you have. Help us deliver the passion that we love to bring to you every day. And let's not lose sight of what success is. And that success is running 80% occupancy, having a $130 ADR. It's seeing your restaurant tables full. It's making sure that every one of those wine barrels is emptied at the end of the season and sent somewhere else. It's full seats at the stadium. It's making sure that people are using the ministries in Cedar Lake to do summer adventures and camps and whatever else we can do. Every business here should be filled. And we will fill them by joining together, not by building fences. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to lead you. It's an honor to be part of this industry. And I got to tell you, every day when I come to work, it's a lot of fun to do so. Thank you for being here. And now you're going to hear from the real professionals. Have a great day.